Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show, 748. Still to come on the show this morning. City Council was scheduled to meet last night, and so we'll have the mayor in with us in the 8 o'clock hour to tell us what was discussed at the City Council meeting last night. 9 o'clock, we'll have our conversation with Aaron Irving and see how the markets are doing, and also our Central Valley Electric Cooperative report is coming up in the 9 o'clock hour as well. Right now, though, joining us, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. John Ross Null, and he's trying not to pull the studio apart.
I am damaging the equipment here. Goodness gracious. Good morning, Gene.
Of course, I could joke and say, how would you know it's been damaged, as old as some of this stuff is?
Well, that is, no comment, Gene. I'll just...
It's true. It's true. Hey, I know Mr. Phipps was very thankful for the cooperation from the city yesterday. There was the 2 soccer games out at the Mac Chase complex, and with all the wind and the dirt around the area, some city crews showed up with some water trucks and laid down all the dirt, and it wasn't too bad out
No,
there.
it really wasn't too bad, and yeah, we really appreciate that. Just Mr. Phipps thinking about that, and then being able to reach out to folks and just the response and the great partnership there, and it did. It made for a much more tolerable evening at Mac Chase Complex, and boy, had some great soccer games out there. The boys competed hard and just 0-0 into overtime, and then just like that, it was over.
It was over.
But they had a great season, and really proud of them. And then the girls, as you've already said this morning on, multiple times, get to play on.
That's right. That's right. So they'll this weekend they'll be traveling out of town and doing that. It was a busy day in town yesterday with all the sports activities going on, and everything seems to happen, get organized, people get where they're supposed to be, and it all seems to work.
It does work out, and there is a lot going on right now. Lots of exciting things that our students are getting to participate in, and ranging from volleyball also played last night, and then coming up next week, of course, we have Election Day on Tuesday, and then Bulldogs on Review coming up later in the week, and then a community-wide growl, community ride pep rally in conjunction with Balloons and Tunes coming up later in the week next week too, and so sure seems like that's going to be a lot of fun, and Chamber of Commerce is working hard to get that together as well.
Yeah, they're pretty excited about that first non-football event, or one of the few non-football events held in the Bulldog Bowl in recent history.
Yeah, and it seems to be coming together. Jennifer Humble, who is our high school student council sponsor and does a great job with that, she's very involved in getting that organized, and from what I understand, they're organizing a challenge or some challenges for some of us school folks, and so we'll see how that all turns out.
I'm sure it'll work out well for everybody in that. Well, you mentioned the mill levy election on Tuesday. Have you checked to see what kind of numbers have already early voted on that? Has that been curious to you, or you just kind of wait until Tuesday night?
I don't have any official numbers, but just from talking to people who have already voted and stating, I was number 73 or I was number 214 or whatever. So just very unofficial results, but certainly want to encourage those everyone to get out there and participate. Of course, 3 board seats, which is somewhat unusual. And then also the mill levy, which is so crucial to continuing to provide what we're able to provide. So just really appreciate people considering that and getting out and voting.
And that's basically what you've been doing, is just explaining to folks what the money is used for. You haven't been telling people how to vote. You can't do that. But
correct.
Just kind of here's the money. Here's what we're using it for. And the fact that it's not anything new, it's something that's already been in place for a number of years.
Absolutely. And we've tried to have some real intentional efforts to get that word out there, whether it's some big banners that you see around town or our brochures that you may have received or that you see, or information on our website, or just every opportunity that we get to talk about it. And of course, as we have talked about before, it's a continuation of a tax levy that's been in place for over 35 years, and that does not go for operational uses. That goes for equipment, technology, security, and safety features. It goes for new construction. It goes for renovations, things of that nature. So it really enables us to provide good quality, safe, reliable spaces for our students and our staff and our activities and our athletics. And then, as I said, up-to-date technology as we continue to move forward with that effort. And so just really appreciate people considering that. And then also, the hospital has a levy question also, and we want to encourage people to get out and vote regarding that as well.
That's right. It's same situation. It's not a new levy.
Correct.
It's a continuation of one that's already in place now that folks are paying for.
That is correct, yeah.
Well, good. Any news on any of these legal activities or actions that the board has voted to get involved with, the Gallup-McKinley County Schools deal? And then in conjunction with that, I know you've been working with a lot of school districts to work with the public education department on the comment process on the social studies?
You bet.
Curriculum.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. And a couple of things regarding the lawsuit that the district is currently a plaintiff in, that really just simply advocates for more local control on a range of issues, not one particular issue, but on a range of issues. And so most recently with that is the attorney, the lead attorney on that has drafted some legislation that I believe that we're going to be able to get in the hands of the Secretary of Education, and for him to review and hopefully have the opportunity to get that considered during this 30-day session, which is not easy to do because things on the agenda for the 30-day session have to be either germane to the budget or at the call of the governor. And so our hope is that the secretary will see the value of this legislation and then be able then to take that to the governor to get that done, which could accomplish what the lawsuit is trying to accomplish. And in regarding the social studies standards, it was interesting yesterday on a superintendent's call, about 30 to 35 districts have submitted some type of a resolution or petition to the public education department to delay, just as we did, to delay the implementation or the review of these standards so stakeholders could just have ample and appropriate time to review them, to make edits, to recommend deletions or additions, whatever the case may be. And so the word coming from the public education department was that, only 30 some odd out of 89 districts have submitted a resolution or a petition. So that must mean that that 2/3 are fine with moving forward. Well, that's not necessarily the case. They just may not have submitted something formally. So a survey went out from the Superintendents Association yesterday to all of the superintendents across the state, just simply asking a few simple questions. If they've done a resolution, if they've submitted revisions or feedback, and then also are they in favor of a delay? And so it'll be interesting to see what those results are, and I anticipate that it's going to be much higher than 30 to 35 that are asking for more time.
Now, who's doing the survey?
The School Superintendents Association.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it came from the president of the association.
Okay, not the public education department.
No. We're gathering the data ourselves to submit to them. Yeah.
Well, because some school districts may have a little more proactive boards, such as Artesia's, where the resolution was put forth and voted on and sent forward. And there are others that are probably still looking at and considering the ramifications, because as you know, in any of these types of actions, there's, if we do this, will this happen? If we do this, will this happen? You've got to weigh all of those considerations when you make the decision.
You do, absolutely, because sometimes there are some unintended consequences of actions that are taken, but you've just got to take the information that you have at the time and make the best decision that you can with what you've got to go on at the time.
Sure.
and move forward.
Yeah. So. Well, do you have anything else on your list that you'd like to share with us?
I don't have a list, Gene. I just want to come back a little bit, not necessarily to the mill levy, but to our mill levy brochure, and on the front it says "One Town, One District, One Family." It's great to be a Bulldog, and I just want to encourage people, although there's some issues, some very important issues, and I appreciate and respect the positions that people take, but just want to encourage everyone as we go through this time to keep that in mind: one town, one district, one family, and let's work together to do what's best for our kids.
That's right. That's and you see that at the schools, you see that in the athletic programs, you see that in the other extracurricular programs, where the theater, the choir, band, that really is the focus of what's going on, and that's a good thing to be proud of.
It is, and we are very proud of that.
Yeah, very good. Well, especially when you see some of the stuff going on around the country in the news, there's some rough things going on in other parts of the country.
There
right
are.
now. And
There
so
are.
Be thankful for what we have here. Right?
Absolutely, and I am.
All right.
Thanks, Gene.
Got a football game Friday night.
Yes.
You gonna hang out up on the camera deck Friday?
Well, I actually went back to my principal days last Friday and made a number of rounds around the concourse, just checking on kids and checking on folks and doing my part to make sure that people are enjoying and doing the things they should be doing up there.
Pretty neat experience, and it was a good game, and will be interesting to see what happens this weekend. We've got Alamogordo, and then Roswell and Goddard have their big game this weekend.
That will be, we'll be paying close attention to how that turns out.
That's right. Superintendent John Ross Null, thank you so much for your time.
You bet, Gene. Thank you.
All right, time for news. This is KSV Artesia.